Types of clauses. So Macy, tell me if I've understood correctly. Clauses are of two types, independent and dependent clauses, right? Right. We are sitting near a lake. That's an independent or main clause. I know why. It has a subject, a finite verb, and it makes complete sense. That's correct. Are there any other kinds of clauses? Yes, dependent or subordinate clauses can be divided into three types: noun clauses, adjective clauses, adverb clauses. A noun clause acts as the subject, object, or the complement of the verb in the main clause. It usually answers the questions what when asked to the verb. I was wondering if we could visit space again. I'll say I was wondering. It's the main clause. It has a subject and a verb and makes complete sense on its own. If we could visit space again. Here, there is a subject, there is a verb, but it doesn't make complete sense. So it's a dependent clause. And it answers the question what, so it's a noun clause. That was excellently answered. Now that we know about noun clauses, let's move on. The lake that you see over there was formed by an earthquake. Do you want to answer this? I need help with this. Yes, this is slightly tricky. The lake was formed by an earthquake. Is the independent clause here? What? Yes, the lake is the subject. Was formed is the verb. So, that you see over there is the dependent clause. It describes and tells us more about the subject of the main clause, doesn't it? Therefore, it is an adjective clause. Absolutely right. Now, the last type. After we returned from our space visit, we came to the lake. Can you identify the clause in this one? We came to the lake. Here, we is the subject, came is the verb, and it makes sense on its own. So it's an independent clause. That's right. That means after we returned from our space visit, it is the dependent clause. And what is the dependent clause telling us? It's telling us when we came to the lake. Exactly. A dependent clause which tells us how, where, when, why, how often, and to what degree the action in the main clause takes place is called an adverb clause. That was not so difficult, Macy. Once you understand the rules of grammar, English becomes a fun and interesting language to speak, doesn't it? Oh yes. Today I learned about the different types of clauses. Clauses are mainly of two kinds, independent and dependent clauses. Dependent clauses are further categorized into noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverb clauses. Noun clauses act as the subjects, objects, or the complements of the verb in the main clause. Adjective clauses describe and tell us more about the subjects of the main clause. Finally, adverb clauses tell us how, where, when, why, how often, and to what degree the actions in the main clause takes place.